Global greetings, friends, and welcome to Let's Talk About It with Danelle Boyles, and I'm coming to you from the US. I like to call these little eye opener conversations of ours 10-minute talks as we hit key points on important topics, but in compacted conversational format that's easy to digest. A way to stimulate new learning desire and to expand the thinking. In our 10 minutes today, we are taking a few for some chat and expand time on exploring digital nomadism, and it is the future of work. I will be having join me Miles of Sesame for this conversation today.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Miles, how are you?
I'm doing great. Just cruising.
Fantastic.
How's your Friday treat? Love to hear it. Anything good happening or just a general vibe of excellence?
So far, so good.
That's the way to do it. Got any big plans for the weekend or are you just keeping it low key?
Oh, some birthday parties, Father Day stuff. But right now, I'm working on recording podcast. Would you like to join me?
I'm always down for a podcast session. What's the
Excellent.
topic for today? I'm ready when you are.
All right.
Late on me. What are we?
Lay it on you, huh?
You caught me. I'm just trying to keep the momentum going. What's the move?
Fantastic. Well, today on Let's Talk About It, we're going to do a brief dive into exploring digital nomadism. Is it the future of work?
Digital nomadism. Now we're talking.
Not a word
Curious
that
if
you
people.
hear commonly every day. Nomadism.
Fair enough. It's a bit of a mouthful. I'll stick to digital nomad. It's a bit smoother. So we're talking the dream of working from a beach in Bali or the actual reality of hunting for stable Wi-Fi in a cafe.
I think actually identifying with the fact that this is no longer a dream and that it's actually something that a lot of people do for their career and how they go about doing it. That it is a very big part of the future. A lot of individuals are working remotely and they're very successful at it.
It's a total shift in the script. For a long time, it was just for the freelance crowd
Hmm.
or the tech outliers.
Right.
But now it's basically a legitimate career path.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It
like the
makes me
whole
wonder
trend
if
setting.
it's basically just becoming a legacy feature. You know, I mean, for some it's a safety blanket, but for everyone else, it's just a commute that doesn't need to happen.
Right.
Do you think people are actually ready to give up that structure, or are they just chasing the freedom?
I think a lot of individuals get into it because they're more or less chasing the freedom of how they want to live their lives differently.
Right. The allure of the freedom is the big hook.
Right.
But I feel like there's a hidden cost to that freedom. Like when your office is a beach in Thailand, it's kind of hard to figure out where the workday actually ends and your life begins. I wonder if people end up working more because they never actually leave the office.
I can personally vouch for that because through certain parts of my year, I do become a digital nomad and I work from my computer more than I do from in person. And so, you know, one way it is nice because you can work at your leisure and kind of make your own schedule. But on the other hand, you do kind of get lost in the sauce and, you can develop time blindness. And before you know, it, you've lost track of time, days, weeks, and so
That's the real trap.
hmm so I guess let's break down since we're actually have to be very short on time today. For an individual that is curious about digital nomadism and exploring it, what are the pros and cons of it? Is it actually the
Let's get into the
future of
nitty.
work?
On the pro side, you've got that total control over your environment, which is a huge win for creativity and mental health if you do it right. But the flip side is that the solitude can hit hard. And like you said, that time blindness is a real thing.
Hmm.
As for the future of work, it feels like the where is becoming way less important than the what you're actually delivering.
Right.
Do you think the biggest hurdle for most people is the logistics or just the fear of leaving the stability behind?
I think probably the fear of leaving the stability of having like an actual grounded place to go to work.
The security blanket of a
Yeah,
desk and a
the
commute. It's a
comfortability.
scary jump.
Yeah.
Totally. It's that feeling of knowing exactly where you'll be at 10 a.m. every Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
When you trade that for a nomadic life, you're basically trading a known boringness for a lot of unknown excitement.
Well, and
I
I
wonder
feel
if
like
some people just,
depending on what you're doing, I mean, you could just be trading boredom for boredom, because if you don't have logistics in your day, even as a digital nomad, you're still going to experience those same things. The only difference is you're more open as to where your office is and where your work can take you.
that's a great point. It's like moving your desk to a more scenic location, but the spreadsheets are still spreadsheets. If you don't have a rhythm or some kind of internal structure, you're just bored in a
Right.
different time zone.
Yeah.
Curious for someone who's one thing that keeps you from just
Mm,
completely burning out when the scenery gets too distracting.
I feel like for me as an individual that has explored this and, you know, somewhat, worked in the digital field of like permanent. I'm sorry, I feel like we have like a breakup in our connection. Um, but I feel like I get lost in it sometimes. You have to really structure yourself. You have to have self discipline. You have to be able to structurize like your task, your schedule, and you have to be very dedicated to keeping control of the intent and purpose of what you're doing.
The self-discipline part is where most people trip up.
Hmm.
No, it's easy to say I'll just do this later since I'm in Portugal, but that's how the workload piles up until you're stressed out on a beautiful beach.
Right.
I've heard that creating a fake commute, like a walk around the block before starting, can trick the brain into work mode. Do you use any specific rituals to snap yourself back into the zone?
Not necessarily rituals, but I do keep a detailed calendar, so I know if I have deadlines or commitments. I make sure everything is very recorded and task oriented and organized as to when, what, where, why, how. But also in the same hand of that, you still have to be very scheduled, because if you have something that you have to complete in the middle of the day and you want to go do something else, but you have to have your computer handy, or you have to be able to get online, then you either have to be prepared to dismiss yourself from whatever you're doing and go do your work, or so it's still you still very much you have to keep a schedule.
It's basically a
Yeah.
high wire act,
So do you think, is this
balancing that.
something, this digital nomadism, do you think that it is geared more towards particular individuals in particular professions, or is it something that might become more of a practice for many different companies or work communities? Because the one thing I see as being a pro for certain companies that are looking to become fully digital and remote work is that they have far less overhead.
That's the huge incentive for the bosses.
Hmm.
Cutting out the rent on a massive office building is a gold mine.
Right.
I think we're seeing it expand way past just the laptop lifestyle crowd into more corporate roles,
Hmm.
but there's still a huge gap between companies that trust their people to get it done and the ones that still want to see a warm body in a chair.
Hmm.
Do you think that trust gap is something that can actually be closed, or will some bosses always need that physical oversight to feel in control?
I think it depends on the kind of work.
True. I mean, some things just can't be done from a laptop in a cafe.
Yeah.
You can't exactly remote manage a construction site or perform surgery from a beach in Mexico. But for the knowledge work, the design, the writing, the strategy, the physical oversight is basically just a habit, not a necessity.
Hmm.
I wonder if we'll eventually see a world where the office is just a place you go for a social vibe check once a month instead of a daily requirement.
I could see that, and actually, my my day-to-day job is kind of like that. I work independently in the school system as a vocational coach, and so I'm responsible for maintaining my schedule and staying in touch with anyone that needs information on like my whereabouts, my routine, my schedule, my files. You know, I don't have like a maintained like overhead boss. So, you know, I have to touch base and have like monthly meetings with the boss. So it's, you know, kind of, I don't work at home remotely, but it's kind of similar circumstances.
That's a pretty sweet middle ground. You basically got the autonomy of a nomad without having to worry about the Wi-Fi signal in a foreign country. It's
Right.
like you're running your own franchise within the school system.
It,
Do you find that having that you more productive, or it doesn't make it easier to let things slide since there's no one hovering over your shoulder?
no, because I still have many tasks and deadlines I have to complete. And if they're not completed, then, you know, it's recognized. Um, to do what I do, you have to have a very independent persona and be capable of maintaining yourself and, you know, your students and all of your tasks.
That's the real test of the professional. It's one thing to have freedom, but it's another to actually be the one holding yourself accountable.
Mm-hmm. All
It
right.
sounds like you've basically met.
I'm sorry. What?
Um,
What were you
I
going
was
to
just saying.
say? Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay. So we're going to have to wrap up our conversation. And can you give us just a lowdown, like top three things that you feel like is supporting in the idealization that digital nomadism is a strong potential for future work?
For sure. First, it's all about the output, not the hours in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
When the result is what matters, the location is just a detail.
Mm-hmm.
Second, it's a massive win for the talent pool. Companies can hire the best person for the job regardless of whether they live in the same zip code. And third, the flexibility actually prevents burnout. If you can shift your environment to fit your mood or your needs, you're going to stay in the game longer. It's basically the ultimate upgrade for the human side of work.
I totally agree with all of those. All right, Miles, thank you so much. I'm going to sign off now. And as always, everyone, thank you for joining us. I hope you take away some wonderful growth and expansion from our conversation today. And maybe digital nomadism is something that you are curious about. So here's your foot in the door to look into what it would be like to work remotely in the future. And as always, keep learning and expanding those hearts, minds, and horizons. And until next time, namaste, everyone.
Anytime. Namaste. Catch you
Namaste,
later.
Miles. Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.